Mimosa Kusari-Lila is a member of parliament in Kosovo, serving as the chairwoman of the Green Caucus Group, and she joins us live now from Pristina. It's a pleasure to have you on the program. Give us your analysis on these clashes. Is this another bump in the road when it comes to tensions between Albanians and Serbs, or is the situation a lot more serious, given that these are NATO peacekeepers that Serbs are clashing with?
Actually, this is a very serious situation where you have the interference of Serbia into the local affairs of Kosovo. Unfortunately, what had happened, to give a little bit more perspective, this situation started since November when Serbs started boycotting all the Kosovo institution with Vucic's order, left police, left prosecution, judges, and mayors had resigned, four mayors in four municipalities in the north. After that, elections by our constitution, of course, were announced for the end of December and were postponed because it was requested due to the security situation. Ever since, in November, ever since they've resigned from the institution, the barricades of the same people that you're seeing here, and these are not just citizens in the north, these are gangs orchestrated directly by Belgrade, and these are people who are trained for these combat operations. As you can see, this is not just citizens ad hoc gathering, not accepting mayors. These are the same people and the same gangs that actually had intimidated and had requested local Serbs not to participate in the election. When the elections were postponed for April, again, Kosovo institutions made all possible efforts to actually secure proper elections. They went ahead and had additional polling station outside of the schools where some of these same people were saying that there are going to be troubles. And then Vucic made sure that 3 days before the election came close to the border with Kosovo with the entire his cabinet and asked Serbs not to participate in the election. So now they have Serbs in the north without police representation, without institutional representation, and yet again, now they're forcing them not to accept mayors. We understand that situation is very delicate. We also know that constitution and rule of law have no alternative. Respect to our constitution and respect to rule of law is something that we are all determined to. What we're seeing right now is the fact that they're protesting against legitimate mayors who went to their offices, that no violence was used. As you can see, the only violence used is from these gangs toward NATO soldiers that came out as a, yes.
So you're saying the ethnic Serbs didn't exercise their democratic right of voting because Vucic told them not to do so?
Absolutely. And he has done that in several ways. One way was that it was tried with appeals constantly. And then the other one was with threats, intimidation, and even with attacks, physical attacks. We had several Serbian political parties who registered for elections, who started campaigning, and whose people were beaten up, severely injured, because they were participating in Kosovo-called elections. So this is everything directly orchestrated by Vucic, who unfortunately still up to this date, and as you can see in north of Kosovo as well, get inspirations from Putin. Yesterday, apart from having media attacks, having media cars burned, several of them were burned, having NATO soldiers attacked, they also had Z signs, those that Russia uses in Ukraine, in cars of media, Kosovo media, Albanian media, and also in the police cars of Kosovo. There was also burning of police car, Kosovo police car, and the attacks later that we've seen from these groups that, again, can easily be related to all the gangs that are directly orchestrated from Belgrade.
Right, clearly a lot of violence that we're seeing. Is it scenes like this that we see on our screens the very reason why it's been so hard for Serbia to gain access into the European Union?
It's actually because Serbia, it's not fully determined to the Western values, or not even closely determined. I think sitting in two chairs, having in one side Russia and siding with them, not putting sanctions to Russia after the unprovoked Russia invasion to Ukraine, and also trying to play a victim here, doesn't play out. As you can easily see. This is what they're trying to have hold on to the north of Kosovo as a bargaining chip for their further negotiations with Kosovo. Imagine the situation normally north of Kosovo, where you would have Serbian community fully integrated, like it is in the rest of Kosovo. Then Vucic would have nothing to bargain with in negotiations. Unfortunately, this is a community that's been misused by their own country, by the country, actually by the country that has a community here in Kosovo, and it's so hard because it's the only country that actually misplaced and actually misuses its community, its minority in another country, and they should have been the opposite. They should
Right.
have made efforts to improve the life of Serbs in Kosovo. And what we're seeing, it's not any improvement, it's determinant of their life and also the security situation in Kosovo.
Okay, Mimosa Kusari Lila, she is a member of parliament in Kosovo. Thank you so much for being with us here on the NewsHour and sharing that insight with us.